Control. Alpha Team.
Welcome, and in this episode we'll be looking at the auto rifle perk known as Focus Fire. How does it affect weapons, how will it benefit you or hinder you, and overall will it make your weapon more powerful? First off, for those who don't know what it is, Focus Fire reduces the fire rate when you aim down sights, while also increasing the damage. For the first test we are using the Sears Regime, which is a low rate of fire auto rifle. Default it fires at 450 RPM and deals 46 body damage to these level 1 enemies. With Focus Fire active, it fires at 300 RPM and deals 61 body damage. 300 divided by 450 equals 0.667, which means with Focus Fire it will shoot at 2/3 of its original speed. This of course means it will shoot 1/3 slower. 61 divided by 46 equals 1.3261, which means it dealt 132.6% of its original damage. You can round this up to 4/3, which means it dealt 1/3 more damage. For the second test we are using the Mmonx D, which is a high rate of fire auto rifle. It's at default, fires at 900 RPM and deals 28 damage. With Focus Fire it fires at 600 RPM and deals 37 damage, which gives us the same results. Now that we have established that Focus Fire reduces your fire rate by minus 33.34% or 1/3 and increases your damage by plus 1/3, let's look and consider for a second. You would think by adding the same percent of damage as you reduced the fire rate, you would not have changed the damage per second. Really, these changes actually do create a DPS loss. This is because the reduction to fire rate is proportionally greater. For example, if you had a weapon that shot at 100 RPM, dealt 100 damage per shot, and you applied Focus Fire, it would shoot at 66.67 RPM and deal 133.34 damage. Which of the changes is more significant? Well, 66.67 divided by 100 is 0.66667, and 100 divided by 133.34 is 0.75, which means that by reducing by 1/3, you lose 1/3 of your effectiveness. But by adding 1/3, you only get 1/4 more effectiveness. If you do want more fire rate but don't want to lose DPS, I have a simple solution. Rather than adding a percentage, instead use a multiplier. For example, to obtain 1/3 less fire rate, you use 1.5x as your multiplier. Bungie does not necessarily need to implement this, since there is other factors that make Focus Fire balanced. So what are the benefits and hindrances with Focus Fire? With Focus Fire you get the usual benefits that come with a slow fire rate, including more controllable recoil, easier target tracking, and greater accuracy, as well as a ton of damage in a single magazine. With it you'll be able to fire much longer than usual, which can sometimes confuse your enemies. Of course, a slower fire rate will also punish you more for missing shots and is not usually preferable in close quarters, although you can hip fire up close to get the faster fire rate. Note that on the medium fire rate auto rifles, it will decrease the fire rate further due possibly to frame rounding. Basically just don't use it on the medium fire rate autos. Overall, Focus Fire can be a good perk for some weapons but also not so excellent on others. I would recommend it for the highest fire rate kind. What do you think about Focus Fire? Do you use it on any of your auto rifles? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.